very long taxi line, so I'm going to use this as my opportunity to do book review of Waking the Tiger. I actually read it before Conscious Loving, so a little bit, it's like a month ago that I finished it, but it was really beautiful, and it resonated with me a lot. I know there were some critiques on it, but I do feel that the overall theme of the body for healing trauma is super powerful, even from my own experience, and how they spoke to observing the animals having their own experience, seeing deer going through trauma and how they shake after going through that trauma. And it's like when the mind isn't taking over and you just listen to your body, our natural state of release, our body knows how to heal. So if we get out of our mind and into our body, that is really the best way to heal ourselves. Which is why I think it's so powerful for breath work. And I really enjoyed hearing the different stories that the author was stating, especially the one about the guy in Alaska and how he went through his traumatic experience and really was holding on to this trauma and was getting so triggered by so much in his life. And just by going through this visualization and using his pants that were a gift from his mother, symbolizing his manhood, I felt like that was, such a beautiful experience of him being guided through it, using that as a grounding force, and then being able to go through the traumatic experience, feel the stress, the pain, the fear of it, and then use the pants as a way to get through it, and then to breathe, well, not just the pants, but breathing through it, using the breath and the anchor of a powerful thought of like manhood and being strong enough to go through. And actually he didn't even have to do the real experience again, he just had to go through the emotions in his mind, and that was enough to have him move through the trauma. And he did end up shaking and having quite a physical experience going through it, and it was really, really profound. And it blows my mind that we don't actually have to do something for our mind to think that we did. So just the our mind doesn't know the difference between reality and visualization sometimes, at least when moving through trauma. And so it's just a great reminder that visualizations, meditations, breath work are key ways to move through trauma. I also love the story of the boys on the bus, and even from my own experiences of trauma, not even trauma, but my own personal experiences of doing some energy work and just being really present and allowing space for the body to feel very rested and restful, and the incredible impact that can come of that. For example, hopefully you can hear me. But what I was trying to say is basically doing the energy work. I've done it before where I or the person is not actually thinking of any key core memories, but just being super present and in tune with their body and allowing for the sensations to come up, and I can physically feel things coming to the surface from within my body, all the way up to the surface and then out and through my head. And when this was happening, my body shook for an entire hour, like full on convulsions, and it was quite terrifying. I wanted it to stop, but I also felt like it needed to happen. And so I just kept going with it, and it felt like such a profound cathartic release. And I don't have any memories connected to it. I don't know what it was from, but I do know that my body needed to release it, and if we don't, it gets stuck in our body and it stays there. And I've felt the impact of the stress on my neck, my shoulders, my stomach, like holding it in my belly with my Crohn's disease. The impact of eating healthy food is great, but if I'm stressed and if I'm holding on to things in my body, it's like everything is a total disaster. And yeah, I think that the somatic work of working with the body to release emotional trauma is so profound and so necessary. And what else? I feel like that was my biggest takeaway. It's been so long, I'm trying to remember other parts of the book. It was the Alaska, I'm really remembering the Alaska one and the bus ride. But yeah, just going back to, wow, it's very distracting actually doing this in a line of about 100 people, but let me think. Yeah, I just feel that our body is so much more intelligent than our mind at times. And similar to that, when we eat food, when we feel sick and we eat food, I feel that sometimes we just, we're like, oh, I have an upset stomach, let me add ginger, let me, have some apple cider vinegar, or like, I don't know, all the things, or take a pill, or do all these things to like alleviate the upset stomach, when in reality, all that's necessary sometimes is to do nothing and to just sit in that stillness and allow the body to heal itself. And it's wild when you actually just, from a very peaceful state of mind, give it that peace to rest and recharge. The ability for the nervous system to actually allow the body to just do what it's naturally supposed to be doing. And I think sometimes we get so in our mind and so overwhelmed with trying to force or do something, and doing less is the answer. I don't know if this is so much as a book review as it is my own personal thoughts, but I actually listened to the Audible version, and the Audible version was, honestly, it was like quite challenging to listen to the guy, but for some reason I couldn't find the book on my Kindle. The voice was like, oh my god, just the most boring voice ever. But it was great for car rides. And what else? It was a good read. My takeaway is that the body is a beautiful healing tool, and what I would actually love to do is I would love to look up the author and see what he trained in or what his background is, because if he's able to just in one session do one quick experience to move through someone's trauma, it's pretty impressive. And I would love to be able to learn, how to also help someone penetrate what their trauma is and what it is they're going through, and then how to create that visualization and do it properly to allow them to really process it and move through it and go through it, because it could be really life-changing. I mean, this like a trauma, it's probably in people's bodies for decades. To be able to just do a visualization, I mean, not just a visualization, it seems to require a lot of training and expertise to be able to do that, but it's pretty incredible and impressive, and I'd love to learn more.